All right, welcome to Hoopstracker. We are very excited about this year. Happy 2025. This is Jerry Howard, your host. Hoopstracker, your source for Colorado basketball. Without further ado, let's dive in and see what we've got going on. Big stuff. Hoopstracker's got a new look. Hope you guys like it. Remember, we're doing interviews, news, alumni commitments, reviews, games, season polls, standouts, etc. Big news at the Idaho tournament. Ileana Green gets MVP. That was huge. Also, I thought it was great. Mallory Neff won the 3-point contest. Alice Lynette had 14 rebounds and 15 or 14 points, 15 rebounds. Big shout out to them as Regis goes 2-1. But let's dive into last week's games. Cherokee Trail falls just short against Mount Zion in Maryland. Aaliyah Broadus, though, comes up big with 24 points in that game. Chatfield falls short against Rancho Christian out of California. Denver East, big win over Cody, Wyoming. If I remember right, Evelyn Otto had a huge game last week in that big win. Meade in Idaho comes up short on day one against Middleton, Idaho, and then Regis comes up just short against Madison in Idaho. Friday, big win for Erie. League starts for a lot of teams this week, but Erie goes into Boulder, takes a big win. Legacy goes down to Arvada West. A big game down in the Springs was Falcon at Pueblo East. Pueblo East comes away big, making a lot of noise in 5A. Cherokee Trail comes back and bounces back day two with a big win over Chatfield. Regis gets a big win against Shelley, Idaho. And then Fruta comes over to this side of the mountain, plays Vista Peak, comes up just short. But on Saturday, they bounce back against Eagle Crest with a big win led by Liv Campbell. Broomfield at Cherry Creek. What a great game this was last night. Couldn't believe it. Broomfield goes down, takes care of business. Talking to Coach Kroll after the game, big time free throw shooting. Sydney Dean went 5 for 5, I believe, from the free throw line, but also a huge performance by Olivia Kim, coming up 15 points, 13 of those in the second half to launch Broomfield over Cherry Creek. Delta comes over, big win on Friday night, but comes up just short against Holy Family. This game was much, much closer. Holy Family just pulled it out in the end. Great defense, great play. And then a huge upset alert. Ralston Valley goes into Highlands Ranch and takes one in double overtime. Santana Sabas performs incredibly with 34 points, but I can tell you there's not many wins at home for a visiting team at Highlands Ranch. Coach Jiraki usually locks that down. Highlands Ranch coming off a big win, winning the Nike TOC in their division just prior to break, comes out and just doesn't quite get it done. We'll talk about that. Columbine Erie, a great game on Saturday. Erie pulls that one out by 5. Frederick goes down to Lutheran. I'm not quite sure what happened with Frederick. Frederick was one of the top 10 teams. Lutheran putting it together and putting it on Frederick to start getting back on the winning track. And then game of the week, Grandview at Valor did not disappoint. 62-65. Sienna Betts with 24 points. Peyton Jones, 18. Quinn Van Seckle, 17. Huge 3-point shooting by the big at Valor, but huge, huge games. Let's talk about this week's games because this week's games, big time, number 2 versus number 3. Riverdale Ridge, number 3, goes down to Legend tomorrow night on Monday night. We're going to see that. That is our game of the week. Looking forward to that. Tuesday, Valor goes at Cherry Creek. Cherry Creek's got to bounce back after that loss to Broomfield. Air Academy and Liberty. This is a big Colorado Springs matchup between the number one 5A team and one of the top 6A teams in the Springs. Pine Creek comes up north to Denver East. Then you've got Berthoud at Resurrection Christian. That's a top 3A matchup. Grandview at Ralston Valley. That is going to be a huge test for this Ralston Valley team. How do they handle Sienna Betts, Ava Chang, and Lexi Yee? Thursday, Deer Trail at Caliche, a top 1A match. Northfield goes to Mullen. Northfield put together a big win after the break. Let's see if they can carry that momentum at Mullen. Friday, Mountain Vista at Roosevelt. I'll double check that. But Wiggins at Marino, top 2A match. Air Academy at Pine Creek. This is the game that you're going to want to watch if you're in the Springs. Top 10 6A team against the number one 5A team. Both teams are loaded with talent. Will be a great test for them. Berthoud at Timnath, top 3A matchup. Saturday, Grandview travels up to Roosevelt. Huge game. Riverdale actually goes out of state to Nebraska. They take on Millard West. And then Valor comes to Broomfield on Saturday night. Big game. Regis at Mullen, a big, huge rivalry game there. And Cherry Creek at Highlands Ranch. Both teams need to bounce back from a loss. Let's take a look at our 6A rankings. Valor 1, Legend 2. Ranch was 3. They drop. Riverdale Ridge moves up to 3. Pine Creek 4. Then Highlands Ranch, Grandview, Regis, Broomfield, Cherokee Trail, Ralston Valley breaks into the top 10. Other getting votes, Denver East, Cherry Creek, Rock Canyon, Doherty, and Arapahoe. For 5A, not a lot of changes. Air Academy, Meade, Mullen, Roosevelt, 1, 2, 3, 4. Green Mountain at 5. Windsor at 6. Pueblo East moving up. Frederick moving down. Stanley Lake and Lutheran breaking into the top 10. At 4A, we've got University, Holy Family, Colorado Academy, Delta, Peak to Peak, Skyview, Dievlin, Berthoud, Timnath. I may think that they have bounced down to 3A. We'll double check that. But Res Christian at 3A, number 1, Denver Christian 2, Yuma 3, Strasburg, Centauri. Now, Colorado Springs Christian, 2-time defending state champion, but they are without Kinley Asp, who is transferred to Air Academy. So they move down on our poll. Wiggins, St. Mary, Platte Valley, and Roaring Fork. All right, let's talk players of the week. Santana Sabas goes into Highlands Ranch with her team, comes out with 34 points, big time double overtime win over Highlands Ranch. Jasmine Byers at Vista Ridge, big game, comes up 26 points over the weekend. Congratulations. Aaliyah Broadus from Cherokee Trail, even though in a loss, she blows up and goes 24 points against a top team from out of state. Rose Pacheco, newcomer at Centaurus, scores 21 points for her school. Naki Starks, Vista Peak, drops 18 points in a big win over Fruta. Ileana Green, Regis gets tourney MVP, and then Mallory Neff at Regis wins the 3-point contest. Great job, ladies. With that, here we go. There's the right pictures. And then don't forget about our special prep writer show on Tuesday afternoon. We got some great interviews coming up this week. Mike Kroll, Carol Callan, from formerly USA Basketball Director. And then if you've got news, please share it with us. DM us, send me a text. Would love to hear more. Coaches, please get your stats up so we can talk about your players. And with that, we hope everyone has a great first week in January of 2025. Happy New Year. Hoopstracker, your source for Colorado basketball. Without further ado, we hope everyone has a great week, and we'll see you guys in the gym.